The free speech warriors who are so adamant that Charlie was a standard bearer of free speech and just his opinion have been getting people fired and doxxed for their perspectives about Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
The other day when we did our emergency Charlie Kirk episode, that's been doing what it's been doing. It's been doing really well. We've been getting a lot of like feedback, a lot of love and support, because there's a lot of people who are obfuscating, trying to muddle down the conversation, not
niggas.
Yeah.
Not being fully honest with what
Racist
and who he really was.
Shit, right? Yeah.
Keep it a beam.
And the thing that pisses me off is because when you do that, I think you do a disservice to people because we can't have the conversation about what to do now.
Yeah.
Everyone, regardless.
Talk about empathy.
I'm about to say, this is the thing about politics, and they realized that the moment he was dead, which is why they immediately try to blame the left for it.
Yeah.
Things keep moving and things have to keep moving.
Yeah.
The agendas that were in place before he died did not change afterwards. So they immediately go on the attack, and we're supposed to like just kind of like shut up and be solemn and everything. But if you do that, then you don't get to have the conversation as to what do we do now?
Yeah.
Right.
How do we actually do some shit, right?
Yeah.
We stress that a lot. And what the result of this shit has been, because all of a sudden words matter when they matter and they don't when they don't.
Yeah.
I seen when we were talking about the Department of War shit, Pete Hegseth and all them are talking about words matter. Department of War. We have to really understand that this is a name change and it comes with meaning because the words matter.
And then nothing the fuck happened.
So after Charlie Kirk passed away, I'm looking at these words that are mattering all of a sudden.
Let's talk about the words matter. What he said about black women, what he said about children, what he said about...
And then let's talk about what the vice president did.
Yeah.
Because the vice president of the United States of America just went and sat on a podcast in place for the host that had died.
Yep.
So I'm like,
And what did he say, JJ?
what is he going to say to his audience? How are we going to bring the country together? What are we going to do since these words matter? Let's play the very first clip where it shows, that one. This was him on his podcast.
Writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that.
Millions
He
are probably
never
watching this, by the way.
uttered those words.
If we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila
Which are
Jackson
black
Lee
women.
and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously.
He never uttered those words.
He never uttered those words.
This nigga's telling us to not believe our eyes and ears.
Just
That's the level of like...
Okay.
He literally said, too, he said, if you go to the clip linked, he never uttered those words. That's the clip linked.
And we'll talk about the writer who he's talking about as well. Because the person who he's talking about is a black woman who got fired for quoting Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about all that shit. But my main issue is, how did we get to a point where Charlie Kirk got shot again? It's because we have political violence and political rhetoric has continuously ticked up, right? And we know that it's been like right wing, but the thing before we get into like all the data about it is I'm hearing in the aftermath of this shit just solely focusing on how he's a free speech advocate, and at the end of the day,
I've heard civil rights leader as well.
I've heard civil rights leader. I've heard all that shit, right?
heard him to MLK.
Yes.
What if that dude
And
said
my
he's
thing about it is, right?
They're trying to make a memorial day after him now.
Yeah. My thing about it is, okay, let's really have the conversation about free
let's
speech
start talking about it then.
and what this means.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this and racking my brain cell for a while because I'm like, what do you have to do? If I went and toured the country playing 8th graders at baseball, I've been playing baseball since I was age 6 to I was age 18, right? Let's say that I fundamentally don't think that women should be involved in baseball or should have softball leagues or whatever, right? And in order to make that idea more popular, I'm going to set up a camera where I travel around the country and I'm going to beat like 8th grade like little girls at baseball I have all the training. I'm a nigga who's been practicing baseball, been had niggas throw 90 miles an hour at me before. So I have all the training. I also do social media, so I can control what the narrative looks like, what gets put out. If someone makes a good...
You also have billions.
I also have millions of dollars funded from billionaires, from fossil fuel industries. I have the ability to shape narratives on a nationwide scale. And I'm doing this, and I'm clip farming these little girls being dog shit at baseball just so that I can use the money and then further push for that agenda.
Yeah.
And then I get blicked on the baseball diamond via a line drive and my shit. And then
95.
And then you niggas sit here and cut the camera on the Jaam and be like, JJ was a free baseball advocate for everybody in the country and just simply stood up for what he believed in.
Simply his opinion and
to those little girls
comparing
who've
them
been
to
made
fucking Jackie Robinson and shit.
So after public faith that women could play softball or baseball has been destroyed because of my fucking free speech. I'm just having free competition. I'm just showing you the skill set. It's just subjective. It's just me playing and they playing.
It could be harmful, but I guess.
But who controls that narrative sets up to the extent with whether or not it's actual free speech.
Yeah.
Because we should be able to openly hear everybody's perspective, right? But that's not what he was there for.
It's not what it was. It's very evident, especially considering 24 hours after the nigga died, HBCUs were getting bomb threats.
Yeah, and then on top of it, with your free speech.
What the fuck did we do?
With your free speech, you have been sitting here lying constantly.
Yes, that's my thing. That's the biggest piece of it.
Yeah.
Is because in order for this just to be a debate about opinion, then nothing has to be true.
Yeah.
This is
You
what
can't be
My free speech.
This is what an opinion is.
Uh-huh.
I want lower taxes. Josh, you want higher taxes. That's a debatable opinion. The civil rights that made me human is not.
The sky's purple. I
Opinion.
remember arguing about people. I think I was arguing about my brother with my brother with that shit. And I'm like talking to him about like, cause this was back in like 2016. It was a whole bunch of bullshit with Trump. But I remember arguing about like what's an opinion, what's a fact, and all those things. And I'm like, bro, if you go down this road, where is that line? When does it become like, okay, it's not an opinion anymore? Like we have to kind of live in reality here for a second.
I commented these people talking about, Milo Yiannopoulos, who I've mentioned before. He worked with Kanye on his campaign for like half a second back in like 2024. And he's like a Nazi who's been like completely deplatformed. They said he's coming back. And I seen people be like, oh my God, y'all done woke him up. I'm like, yes, the free speech advocates. Here's our next, I commented this under like Good Troubles videos. Like, here's our next opinion. The Holocaust. Like, what do you,
Like what?
what point do we
I mean,
And
Charlie
then
Kirk
also
himself.
another thing, when it comes to free speech, who is free speech privileged to?
Yeah,
Who is it
bro.
going to?
Charlie Kirk himself referred to black people as blacks. What are we? I keep telling everybody that has anything to say about that. I'm like, this nigga referred to niggas as blacks.
And there are people who see no problem with that.
No problem with that at
That's
all.
why I'm like, that's why I'm like,
that's free speech. That's an
why I'm like,
opinion.
if we have to talk about free speech and we have to talk about opinions versus facts and lying and shit or whatever, the reason why me as a person got started in the way that I got started is because I'm seeing niggas like Charlie Kirk tell lies 25/8. Do you think that we just spawned here and everyone decided to clap and celebrate? No, I'm a nigga who got into the age of social media and on the internet and had to grow up with this new content style where we're just making people look stupid for the clip.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing this nigga and I'm watching other breakdown videos of like, if you look here, he clearly is lying about this thing, because if you go and I can show you where I got the paper from, I can show you where he's referencing and he's lying. And you know it's true because the vice president, even after his death, just came up there and said he didn't say something that he just overtly said.
Yeah.
This is the game plan, because the moment you can make everything up for debate, then bigotry becomes just a perspective.
Yep.
That's shit like
So let's stop bullshit about this
bigotry.
free speech.
Like, what are we
Bigotry
talking about?
is
It's
not-
like eugenics.
We should have slavery as also an opinion.
Yeah, like what are the
bigotry
laws?
is not a perspective that should be respected.
Respected at all.
Exactly.
And that's why, like you said, a line does need to be set, because everyone can't go for anything. Everything should not be debatable in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and people know that.
People know that.
We all know that.
They want to
But we
make
try to-
general
yeah, I was
rules where
gonna
they say, you shouldn't die for an opinion, you should be XYZ, you should be solemn and everything. But you understand that political violence does have its time and its place, because again, like what I said, what if your opinion is we should have slavery?
Yeah.
Okay, you probably shouldn't just go around sniping people because they said they want lower taxes, but we fought a war about slavery.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a line has to be drawn, right? And I realize that there's not a principled stance on this position from these same people, from the vice president and everything.
Because what happened?
Because the free speech warriors who are so adamant that Charlie was a standard bearer of free speech and just his opinion have been getting people fired and doxxed for their perspectives about Charlie Kirk's death.
Yeah.
For their perspectives. This isn't like the conspiracy theory they try to start where they're like 9/11 happened and I seen Muslim people jumping up and down. No, y'all have been finding, there have been doxing people. Yeah. There have been entire pages created where creators' names, their addresses, professors' emails, their phone numbers are being blasted out to people because
that
they didn't
actually got taken down now.
Yeah, because I remember they had started like a GoFundMe
like
for it, and then they had to put like
not a Substack, it was a Squarespace.
It was like a Squarespace, and they were accepting donations for it, and then people were donating hella because they want to get all this information, and then they realized that they'd run into legal trouble, so they were like, we're only putting publicly available information, and then right-wing people got mad about that. Because we see what timing they're on. Yeah. Every right-wing major official immediately declared war on the left the moment it happened.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even have concrete evidence of the shooter's political affiliations because Kash Patel and the governor of Utah have been dicking around with this shit, and they've been trying to put their own narrative and shit that's not matching up, and now we're getting more information that says that he might have been so far into online culture and meme culture that he was on the Groyper side of the internet, which is a bunch of people who are heavily further right-wing than Charlie, incel, Nazi, white supremacist, whatever, led by Nick Fuentes for like years. The creepiest people on the corners of the internet. That nigga Kai Clips that we mentioned, who was on Jubilee and who said the N-word to me, and his fan base was spamming monkey emojis back in 2021 when we were just debating about Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Political violence is fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Goes out to a rally. I'm like, the niggas freaking he goes out to a rally, smokes people with an AR, gets off.
And we're debating.
It was
empathy, political violence.
Right? So it doesn't matter, right? And I'm seeing that there might, and we don't know whether or not he's part of this group, because right now, from what I've seen, it just seems like he was deeply online. People around him are saying he was apolitical. His family was conservative, but he didn't really talk much politics, but his meme culture spells a different thing. It's all over the place, which is what an honest government would be saying right now, and then combating the issue of political extremism, radicalization, and lying and shit.
Not saying that.
That didn't happen, though. A black woman got fired from the Washington Post for quoting Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was the last black woman in the department, right?
Yep, Karen Attiah, Attiah. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. This is according to USA Today. She says she was fired over Charlie Kirk posts. Said Washington Post columnist Karen Attiah said on Monday, September 15th, that she had been let go by her employer. I think, she was the last black columnist on the Washington Post. She says, I'm actually trying to find exactly what she did. She said, according to Attiah, she only referenced Kirk in one of her posts on Blue Sky. In that post, the columnist shared a screenshot of a quote in which Kirk said several prominent black women, including former First Lady Michelle Obama, did not have the brain processing power to be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot. This article quotes that verbatim, and we just watched.
So she posted the screenshot?
Yes. When contacted by USA Today, the Washington Post spokesperson declined the comments, saying the media outlet did not comment on personnel matters. In a series, in a series of posts, the Washington Post Guild condemned the firing of Attiah, calling it a wrongful firing and saying they would stand with her. This is where the article ends. The Washington Post wrongly fired columnist. According to a profile, she'd been with the newspaper for over a decade, joining in 2014. And that's where it ends. She verbatim posted a screenshot.
Just a screenshot.
You fired her because she quoted the nigga verbatim.
Half this country, the NFL just celebrated this nigga and said remembering Charlie Kirk on the big video boards across the nation. And she just got fired for remembering Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees.
This is why. This is why I didn't have a problem with Gavin Newsom saying like remember his legacy, because that was his legacy. Racism.
I was gonna say I saw that nigga Gavin Newsom talk about. I don't know if he said continue to work. I know his wife said the work will continue and all this shit or whatever.
What work?
Oh no. I think Gavin Newsom came up with a statement. He was like, the best way is to honor and continue his work being free speech.
Charlie
which
Kirk
assumes that
Gavin Newsom said that.
Okay. I thought that he said just.
Remember
his legacy.
Because my thing is, we should remember his legacy. The thing is, the people who are policing people's reactions right now don't actually want to remember his legacy.
No,
because it gets really crazy.
What is the effect of that legacy? Where has that legacy led to?
We'll talk about exactly where it's led to.
Talk about where it's led to right now.
So now we have a black woman who got fired, right, for quoting the nigga. We have other people, other creators I know who are getting doxxed for sharing his words or for not strongly condemning enough. Mind you, this is all response to the dude who's a bastion of free speech. We need to continue his work by admiring the work in free speech, which is why we're not saying shit that these people are getting fired. We're not throwing our hands up in the air like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
These niggas just backflipped on a principle that they've been standing on since culture war days, talking about cancel culture and shit. So when you want to talk about how to fucking fix this problem, not firing and doxing people who have a perspective on the person's death, because that's authoritarian, that's anti-free speech. We could address the issue of political extremism. But then the president and the Department of Justice deleted a fucking study off their website where it explains how much political radicalization has been rising and how much of it has been from the right.
They just deleted it.
Deleted
404
free speech.
They just actually deleted it. This is a report from New Republic. They say the study published in 2024 and conducted by the National Institute of Justice is titled "What NIJ Research Tells Us About Domestic Terrorism." The first words are militant, nationalistic, violent extremism is increased in the United States. In fact, the number of far-right attacks continues to outpace all other types of terrorism and domestic violent extremism. Since 1990, far-right extremists have committed far more ideologically motivated homicides than far-left or radical Islamist extremists, including 227 events that took more than 520 lives, the study noted. In this same time period, far-left extremists committed 42 ideologically motivated attacks that took 78 lives.
Just deleted from the website.
Just deleted it.
Over 5 times
if
more
the left
people have died from right-wing radicalization, right-wing lying, right-wing extremism, bigotry, racism, hate crimes, all type of shit since the 90s. And Charlie Kirk just got shot by somebody whose political affiliation is unknown. And they said it was the left. We have to go get them. We have to
was the radical
Charlie Kirk live on TikTok, and Ben Shapiro and other people and Matt Walsh and them were hosting it. And I just saw Ben Shapiro just making so many things about the left of like, they do this. This is their plan. They're about to do such and such, X, Y, and Z.
He went on Bill Maher and fucking said if a right-wing person gets shot, chances are it was a leftist, Antifa, crazy person.
Just yapping.
42 ideologically motivated attacks in 30 years that took 78 lives. 227 that took more than 520 on Ben's side. We know that it was radical left. How do you know that? On what data?
On what?
None of them have been able to answer that question. On what data are we justifying McCarthyism, shutting down an entire side of the political aisle for thinking and having a perspective in response to somebody who was a free speech advocate?
It doesn't sound
It's almost like they don't give a flying fuck. It's almost like us, the niggas who y'all thought was laughing, care more about your dead homie than the niggas who are advocating for him.
That's why.
Because in my society, Charlie Kirk still gets health care.
Yeah. And we'd have gun laws and gun reform and all the things we've been.
Yeah, his ideas wouldn't be respected in the public. He'd be a crazy person laughed off in the woods. But he'd be alive.
Let's honor
that, like,
real.
It kind of pisses me off. Because it's like,
better than being taken dead, no?
They come on here, right? And they want to preach about the radical left and how they're all so violent. But the stats don't show it, number one. And number two, now you're deleting shit off of websites that make y'all look
Now
bad.
you're deleting the stats that show the exact opposite. Now we're trying to say that the thought of calling somebody a fascist is actually what came to it because they said, it said, hey, fascist catch on one of the bullets, even though that, when looking into it, has been associated with Helldivers, the video game.
Nigga, the Helldivers?
Yeah.
The 500 kg bomb is the biggest bomb in the game.
The cheat code that you type in, like the up, down, left, right bullshit, whatever, was the thing that he engraved on the bullet because he was like heavily into gamer culture. Some of the songs that he used, they said they used the anti-fascist song. That song has also been co-opted by a lot of right-wing movements. It pops up on the playlist of like Nick Fuentes' like movement like it's called like
Spotify
America.
playlist?
It's called like America First, like something or whatever. And that Bella Ciao song pops up on that because it's been co-opted by people all over the internet, right wing people, like people in meme culture. That's not the conversation that's being had. You niggas said it was the left, and the only thing that I've seen in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death was HBCUs got threatened and a black kid was hung
At Delta
In
State.
which even
and as a sign of the times that we are in and how fraught the political times are, if we really want to remember this person, let's remember all the shit, not only that he stood for, but the shit that all of them have been standing for that got us to this point.
No foul play, by the way.
Yeah, definitely foul play. We're acting like a nigga named Phoenix doesn't exist.
Ooh.
The nigga that shot up that school.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Eichner.
Yeah.
Who was a member of Turning Point USA,
Yeah.
the FSU shooter.
Yeah.
wow.
Your
So let's-
ideology pushed that nigga there.
So
And
let's
that's
talk
like-
about
that's
let's talk
fact. I
let's
wanna
talk
talk about
about right wing
fucking fact.
radicalization and what we do know who the actual victims in this situation are. Because the Trey Reed situation has fucked me up for a while. It started, and I'm gonna wrap up soon. But it started pretty much yesterday. He was found, I believe. It was yesterday or the day right before. He was
Monday.
found really early in the morning on Monday, I believe, at 7 a.m. on the campus of Delta State University. He's a black kid, 21 years old, which that's why it fucked me up because I'm the same age as the nigga.
Yeah.
And he went to Delta State, and they find him at 7 in the morning hanging from a tree, apparently in the middle of the campus by like the pickleball courts. From what happened immediately after was the university officials by 9 a.m. had a press conference. Yeah, in 2 hours.
2 hours.
In 2 hours, they found him, and then they declared that they're under the assumption that it might be suicide, but they don't have any signs or evidence of foul play, and the investigation is still going on, which in my opinion is irresponsible as fuck to say if the investigation is still going on.
Yeah, that
One,
there's no
super
foul play.
irresponsible.
Also,
to
two,
say. Also, two, let's really look at the logistics of the situation. Like, I think, and if you want to make a statement, first of all, after 2 hours, 2 hours,
we
Means you was
found
coming
you
up with
find the
shit.
body. You find the body at 7, and by 9, you're making statements saying no foul play.
And the thing is, too, it just came out that the police told his family that he was dead in his dorm.
The school, yes, the police told his
Details are coming
family
out.
he was dead in his dorm. The school then told the family that
He was found
like
in the
he was
pickleball
found in
court.
Was his legs broken, or was that the second?
I seen conflicting reports. So
Yeah.
pretty much someone who claimed to be a cousin had talked to someone else
No,
who was a family member.
that's a bitch ass nigga.
Yeah,
Somebody on TikTok.
I did see that.
Did he have dreads?
Yeah, he did have dreads.
That was not his cousin.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It didn't
That
feel-
was not the one of the people that are actually like his homies came out and was like, nigga, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I figured
That was not his
I
cousin.
figured that
Wait, what
I
happened?
figured from watching the video, it seemed like it was somebody who heard about the story and was trying to make it. Like I had a feeling that he was trying to make it like a thing, but he might have not been directly connected. Somebody who originally made a TikTok about the situation was saying that like he was beaten, he was bruised, and he had broken limbs, and a lot of people have kind of repeated that.
Yeah.
Then the coroner said
coroner,
that they
yeah.
didn't see any evidence of like anything.
was
that
the
would
coroner.
indicate
I
assault.
vetted him. The coroner's a black man. He's elected.
Yeah, but also it's still like the South in
Still
rural
the South,
Mississippi.
yeah.
So that's why the family got Attorney Ben Crump and retained them and was like, okay, we want a full investigation into what happened. Because while, like you said, the dude is a black man, I've also gone to a college in a rural area. And I remember when a student came to me because they had a racial slur written on like a golf ball. And when we tried to contact campus police, they were, you can throw the ball away. Like, yeah, we had a cop come out and see it, and they're like, yeah, I don't really know, can't really do nothing about it. So, mind you, I don't know if we ever found out who did that, but all I know is a golf ball with a racial slur ended up there somehow. So you're telling me that these police stations that are already not staffed when it's just in a town, a rural college town police department in 2 hours made the determination that there was no foul play involved with a black kid hanging from a tree in the wake of Charlie Kirk.
It was
when black schools were getting threatened.
Suicide.
Even the
suicide.
When you brought the golf ball, like you see this time and time again. Like even with HF with blackface.
That
like,
too.
That whole situation
they trying to blow shit off like it don't matter.
Them. The shit that happened in Naperville when they put them on Craigslist, they didn't expel those kids.
Yeah, they didn't expel them.
There are no consequences.
They just basically give them an out route and they say you can go to a different school.
Or you can stay here. Unless you want to deal with it.
He can't fucking do that because this kid is dead.
Yeah.
So if we're
no foul play to me was just
no foul play is ridiculous.
I think regardless of like, because obviously this is a developing story.
Yeah.
But I genuinely is like, gang, I don't know how many people even in their darkest moments, and I understand things happen. I understand you can't. That's not something to base it off of. But I think that's the direct reason why I'm like, you have to keep investigating it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many niggas in their darkest moments are like, yeah, let me hang myself in the middle of the school.
I'm about to say, and also security cameras. Do we have any
cameras?
I'm
like,
they definitely have footage that needs to be released.
Campus, hello.
It's on something needs to. That's what I'm saying. Something needs to continue to be found and looked at because I'm like, it's either it's one of two things.
In a day,
it's one of two things. It's either that a black kid felt alone enough and did kill themselves. In that case, there's a broader conversation about black men's mental health in general
and what we should be doing after
and that's all fine because nigga, that's a conversation we need to have anyway.
Yeah.
Or someone got lynched in a very fucking fraught political time when it comes to racial dynamics because, oh yeah, King like Nazi pretty much just got blicked.
Yeah.
And we saw that black people were threatened that same day. So given that additional context at minimum, if your hands are on this case, you should be having that in the back of your mind. You're in Mississippi, place with the most lynchings.
Delta.
People used to bring their... For people who do not know, because we be saying white people, and that doesn't mean we just hate every single person individually, but white people brought their children to go watch lynchings and eat lunch.
True.
As a scream.
Why?
And the shit was not getting solved. These niggas are living to 100 years old and being like, oh, you know, it was a different time.
And this wasn't, hey guys, this wasn't in the 1700s. No. This was like less than 100 years ago.
Yep.
So
people were bringing their kids. They would sit down, have their 40s, picnics and
take
shit.
pictures and shit.
So
take pictures while burning them while they're hanging. You know, just chilling out.
You say that?
Yeah, I was saying like before with like people just trying to police everyone on their feelings about how this even started. You have to look at this event and be like, hey gang, this was a response of this nigga's
Let's talk about empathy. I thought we were having empathy. Where's the big ass tabloid?
Where the videos?
Where's the big ass articles? Where's the moments of silence? It was a gruesome ass death on a public university.
Have we talked about it? I thought y'all were like empathetic to these problems.
What about the?
I read that story and it was all that it took to make me cry, and I didn't record it.
What about the kids and all the? Yeah. Oh. Didn't record it. Like his wife was sitting there recording him.
That's a kid
dead ass body.
Yeah. You wanna know why I cried? I put myself in their shoes too.
Yeah.
Because there's the person who is literally of my same background.
Yeah.
Who got lynched, who's the same. It's the same shit we've been seeing for years in this country.
Yeah.
What happened to the empathy? What happened to the contextualization? It's funny. We can put everyone's death in context. I can put his death in context. I can put Charlie's death in context. I can put all the shit, and we can remain consistent on it. But it seems as though we're flip-flopping, right?
Yeah.
The words matter, but then the words don't matter, and I'm not even hearing y'all talk about this potential situation. Another person got hung in the same state. A homeless white man got hung right after Brian Kilmeade went on national television, Fox News, and suggested that we should lethally inject homeless people because they don't want the help. We should just... I'm not lying about that. I'm not going to have JD Vance sit on a fucking podcast and be like, he didn't even say those words. Play the fucking words.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to
or
this
just
point?
kill them?
I would say this. We're not voting for the right people. In North Carolina, wake up.
We move on.
Okay, wait. You see how immediately the black man sitting there, you know what I'm saying, COONing, right? He's sitting there the whole time. This what we really need to do, because it sound good. The grifting sounds good. And then the white man,
or just
with the mask on, looks you dead in your face and like, yeah, or lethal injection. He's like, yeah.
Oh no,
Nigga, yeah.
Oh, and then you
sitting there sucking dick.
Do you know what
sitting there,
happened, though?
you sitting there kowtowing to these people, and that's how they really feel. You may be trying to get a buck.
You might think it's common sense.
You smart. You might
But
think
look at what you're a part of, bro.
And you're sitting next to the.
Were you going to talk about the mass shooting that also happened of homeless people
at a homeless center
in Minneapolis? 13 people hurt in 2 mass shootings in Minneapolis at homeless camps. If the words matter, then the words matter, right? I don't have your concrete evidence to say that one thing created X, Y, Z, but I know that the same political force is manifesting itself a lot of times in these random acts of violence somehow, and we're getting gaslit as though we're creating this issue. What? The nigga just said involuntary lethal injection for homeless people. You know who said a couple weeks ago, they don't care about homeless people, they could kill them if they wanted to? The Jaam. Me on the Jaam. I could play the clip right fucking now. Word for word, verbatim. And that's all it took was a week and a half, 2 weeks for a Fox News host to just say, yeah, we should involuntarily
on air.
On air. And then he came out and said sorry.
Sorry.
Karen got fired. She lost her livelihood. White man said we should involuntarily slaughter homeless people. And
as
he
if
said
they're
sorry.
like, mind you, also as if they're like animals.
As if they're vermin.
As if they're vermin.
Right.
They're not people.
Not just human beings that had a hard time.
Yeah, had a hard time.
Stop calling us Nazis. You calling us Nazis and fascists is what got... Let's kill
This is why I don't feel bad when niggas make them memes about Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
I don't feel bad about it.
What happened to empathy?
What happened to empathy?
But gang, y'all
feel bad
talking about
about it.
free speech, but bro, there's we're seeing
What happened to empathy?
consequences to your ideology.
What happened to the kid who got good grades in high school and whose parents were abusive and whose parents were on drugs and they didn't really set a financial model for them? So then by the time they graduated high school, they didn't really have no want to go to higher education. They couldn't afford it. So he was just drug addicted, poor,
became
and ended
homeless.
up falling out, became homeless and was on the side of the road. Now he's making people uncomfortable.
What?
Now he's doing all types of hard drugs and everything because long before they got outside, all the shit had already been fucked. And Brian Kilmeade rolls up in his van and says, let's involuntarily lethal injection them. Is that an opinion that we should respect?
Wait, how'd they get there though? Was it because the 3-letter organizations fucked up his community in general and, maybe took jobs away and maybe, stop funding books and education and then...
As we're making...
let's make
more homeless people. And now they're saying, we might as well just kill the homeless people.
Let's make a 3-letter word organization, take away all the jobs and opportunities, and throw military in it. Yeah. Save it.
And I ain't gonna lie, if they don't want the help, I ain't gonna lie, we should just kill them.
And then let's pass the big, beautiful bill taking the help away. If you don't want the help, then you die.
And if you use the help, you're a vermin and you're a victim mentality. Stop it.
The same violence that has pushed us to this point where assassinations are more common, where people are getting lynched, where everyone's out of whack with their reactions and nobody's inconsistent, is the same white supremacist and right-wing violence that has been dominating and getting more and more year by year in this country. Yeah. Especially after the rise of Donald Trump and as Megyn Kelly kindly let us know after the winning of Barack Obama. Like
she was dig eating. She was dig eating.
Like we also thought. A black person won the thing and he didn't even revolutionize and change everything. He was just a nigga. And that was enough. Now we gotta throw the Constitution away. Y'all wrote with the feathers. The John Jay, the founding fathers, we the people, and you niggas flipped on it immediately the moment a black person was.
He's the issue.
We're the issue. The left is the issue.
The Negro.
The same Barack Obama that immediately condemned it.
We're the issue.
We're still the
issue. And then the other, the right, where you have Donald Trump sitting on the couch. And
I don't give a fuck. The reason why right wing exists is because they just don't want to see crime. Just like Brian Kilmeade just doesn't want to see the crime of the homeless people, so we should kill him.
You want to kill him. Lethal injection too.
Or put him in prison.
Let's watch him die.
Or put him in prison.
Nuts.
As we fuck this whole shit up more. You double down on
as we fuck kids.
You're literally...
That too.
Yeah.
You're doing that, and then you double down by cutting these programs, making more homeless people. So you'll just have more deaths that y'all wouldn't do.
Yeah. I remember there was a creator, we talked about him on the show where we dove into the Austin Metcalf situation. There was a dude that was spreading misinformation. And when this Charlie Kirk shit happened, that same creator, he was like, he did the whole spiel. He's just a human being. He's a child of God. And
I hear this one more fucking time.
And then recently he just made a video saying, Well, I mean, Charlie Kirk, he wasn't really too right. I'm more right than him. Like, if it was up to me, let's just say.
Keep telling on yourself.
Keep telling on yourself. Keep telling on yourself.
Y'all are applauding at Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos. Open Nazi.
We already know who y'all are. We been knew who y'all are. You're not finna gaslight us.
And we gonna keep telling you about yourself.
You're not finna tell us we not.
And you're not about
voting for that shit.
And you're not about to
gaslighting,
bastardize
bro.
the concept of like truth and opinion or whatever, just so you can have this muddy debate on whether or not we should respect other human beings. You can go have that shit. We're gonna continue telling the truth. Thank you for watching this long. If you haven't already, subscribe. What is you doing?
What is you doing?
What are you doing? You think we just sitting here doing it for nothing?
You think you're gonna sit here and not
Need
shit?
to
Like
eat. I know you're not subscribed. Click it. Cool.